Welcome to the Whole Person Parenting Podcast. We're here to have honest conversations about how to follow Jesus and parent kids in a whole person way. For more content and encouragement as we support you on your journey, you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. We're so glad you're here. Now let's jump in. Hey everyone, welcome to the Whole Person Parenting Podcast, and we're thankful that you guys are here. Today's kind of a special episode because we have a special guest.
Very special.
Very special, and he's great. He's someone that has known me for a long time because he's my dad. And
Yay. The daddy.
Yeah, is my father.
Hi, guys.
And also mom's husband. So there's just a whole family here.
Hi.
Yeah.
And the reason that we wanted to bring him on for this specific episode is because we're still in our series called Are We There Yet? Talking about the stages of development. And now we are entering into elementary age. Yeah.
Great
Still
age.
early in life, but elementary. And the reason that this applies to Dad is he's an elementary school principal.
I am.
So
Yeah.
how long have you been doing that now? Like 9
This is
years?
my 8th year.
8th year?
8th year, yeah.
Yeah. So he works at a public school in Tulsa,
Mm-hmm.
and which is where we live. And you weren't always an elementary principal.
No. Before that, I spent all of my previous education journey in secondary, so middle school and high school.
Yeah.
And so 8 years ago, made the shift to the better side.
Yeah. Because you didn't think you were going to like it.
I did
You
not.
didn't think you were going to like elementary age.
Well, he
No.
didn't know.
I didn't
he
know.
was willing to.
You were
Yeah.
willing to try,
Yeah.
but you had always loved, you had really loved high school and middle school.
I did, yeah, the older kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you made the switch to elementary, and then you ended up loving it.
Yeah. I told God that I would like to have a different challenge.
Yeah.
Still thought that was going to be a principal challenge.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was going to be an elementary principal
principal.
challenge. So
Yeah.
I wasn't really prepared that first year what I was going to get myself into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, you've made a lot of like awesome adjustments to the school and how that's running, and just every time that I've had the, interaction of seeing you like with some of your kids that you either they come to church randomly or I'm at the school and I'm seeing
We're out in the community.
they're out in the community. They're always just like running up and there's like, Mr. Isaacs, Mr. Isaacs.
Yeah.
And they really love you. And I've seen the random videos of, what was the one day that they did where there was like, everyone was dressing like Mr. Isaacs.
Yeah.
And you didn't know about it, right?
For National Principal Day, I did not know it. And so that was a period of time where I had a pretty healthy mustache. And so I walked into the cafeteria and all 500 kids had mustaches on.
So
and the
cute.
staff including. So
Oh,
they
so
recognized
fun.
me for that day. It
Aw.
was pretty awesome.
That's
and,
really
and I
cool.
got a nice gift basket
That's
too.
sweet.
So it's awesome.
I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we wanted to bring Dad on to kind of give us some perspective. He's someone that works with this age literally every day.
Yeah.
And paired with Mom's understanding of, where they are developmentally and everything like that. I just think it'll be a cool conversation. So I say we just get into it. What are some kind of things that like define this age? What's going on in this age too?
I think one of the first things that we have created into our school culture is just the focus on creating a safe space.
Okay.
So I just really feel like a lot of our kids come from just a lot of different dynamics at home.
Mm-hmm.
Not all bad, but I think it's just really important that we create some environments that they feel really safe in.
Yeah.
And so we have this core like pillar that we really focus on around care.
Mm-hmm.
So kids feel loved, feel cared for. When I think about my purpose in being in education is not because I enjoy teaching.
Yeah.
It was really to impact a kid's life by showing love and caring. And so we want them to walk into that building feeling safe, feeling like they can learn in that environment that is going to support them with caring adults and caring attitudes toward them.
Yeah. And so, Mom, would you say that that is like important too in the home, like for this age? I mean, for all ages.
Yeah.
But safety kind of like promotes learning, promotes
for sure.
like things like that.
Yeah, like for kids who are kids who have a place of safety, a place of belonging, then they're going to be able to have to be able to calm down enough in their nervous system to be able to learn. So like we can't learn very well. We can't think with this front part of our brain very well if we're activated a lot in the back of our brain, and that they call it the lizard brain in psychology. When someone has experienced trauma or experiencing like daily what we call toxic stress, then they're not very able to access. They're actually really unable to access this front part of their brain where learning and memory.
And I think we might have mentioned that on the podcast before, that like when the amygdala is activated, the frontal cortex, prefrontal cortex isn't allowed to be.
My goodness, yes,
isn't able to be activated at the same time. Correct.
Yeah.
So you have to there has to be a certain calmed state. There has to be a certain comfortability in the place, where they can learn, which is really cool. That Dad's like incorporating that into the school life and making sure it's safe.
Dysregulation is a huge thing in education right now. Yeah. And so we have kids that are way past, and you could probably speak on what the appropriate age is for fit throwing. Yeah. But we see kids that are way past that, where they just kind of sit in the floor and throw a fit.
Yeah. Really, developmentally, you should stop seeing some of that around by like age 4. So like maybe into age 3, some actually 2s and 3s is where it predominantly is. But you're talking about kids who are in like kindergarten, even older than that.
4th grade.
Fourth grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
but still throwing fits. And
that's
things
really
like
interesting. Because like, are they developmentally stuck in like emotionally and then what's happening in the nervous system that they feel so dysregulated that and they don't know how to modulate that because it's maybe they're developmentally stuck in their social emotional learning. Yeah. So what I was thinking a second ago though is about I know there's like such a focus on relationship in your schools. In your school in particular, that you focus on that with your teachers and everything. And I was thinking about that, how do you see that fitting in with the safety aspect, like for a sense of safety and belonging for kids?
Yeah. There's research, and you probably know the numbers better than I do, but there's if a student experiences 3 to 5 adults through their educational journey that they feel safe with and are connected with, their ability to achieve, not just grow, but their ability to achieve increases a lot. And so we really focus on making sure that multiple people build relationships with those kids. And we talked about our first core value was the care aspect, but then we also really, really hone in on the connection piece. And so not only giving kids opportunities to connect with themselves and their peers and helping them in that relationship building, but we need to connect with these kids, whether it's about the sports team that they like. Soccer is really big.
Yeah.
And so also giving them that aspect to have that ability to play that. So we have soccer clubs. Soccer is a really big focus around our PE classes and things like that. But then just as you're walking through the hallways and you're seeing kids talk about things, or they're asking you about TikTok trends or things that are going on, you have to figure out that way to connect with them. And so our goal is that every 525 kids that are currently at my school, that they're having 3 or 4 adults that we actually have them a connection. So we do something a little bit different at our school. Is we are In early childhood, we have self-contained classrooms, so one teacher. But once they get to first grade through fifth grade, they have 3 teachers.
Okay.
We want to increase the amount of people that are interacting in this kids' lives, right? So you have 3 teachers, a reading teacher, a math teacher, and then our teacher teaches science, social studies, and writing. But then they also have 3 different enrichment teachers, so art, fitness, and PE. So those are 6 people that are interacting with them. We also have TAs and paras and office staff that we motivate them and we push them to really get to know kids, to have conversations with them, have lunch duty with them, have recess duties. And so not just going out there and supervising, but actually sitting down and talking to kids. And so the more adults that we can get to connect with the kids, the likelihood that our kids are going to learn better and achieve more.
Yeah.
That's kind of reminding me of the concept of like relational equity, which is something I've just recently kind of been thinking about and learning about. And I've heard it a lot in like leadership terms. But I think it applies to just relationships in general, even the parent-child relationship. Thankfully, like the parent-child relationship is more unique in that like you've been with them since the beginning. So you have like a trust built just in the fact that they've been with you as an infant.
As long as you've been meeting their needs.
As long as you've been meeting the needs.
Yeah.
But then I also just think about how many times parents can forget that they need to have a balance of like, how much am I taking out of every time I give correction? How much am I, like, if you're thinking about like your relationship as a bank, if you're depositing, fun moments, loving moments, caring moments, you're more likely to have a better response when you're taking out, you're withdrawing from your account whenever you're having to give correction, or you have to say no.
Yeah.
And maybe you can speak more on this because I'm not an expert in it, but I'm just thinking about that in just a way that I think I think that applies to teachers too. There's only the kid's not going to listen if they have no trust or even respect,
or
like
relationship.
Yeah, a relationship. Yeah. Like they have to understand the teacher, and they have to be able to I feel like I've witnessed this in my own life of like, I don't want to listen to the teacher that I have no connection with. I really struggled with that my senior year. I was like, I do not want to do this lady's work because I don't like her. And she had just, withdrawn too many things, and she had never deposited anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just made me less willing to want to work, wanting to do my assignments, to listen to what she said, like what she was teaching, because I was just like, well, what she doesn't even know what she's talking about. So I don't know, maybe you guys can speak more on that too.
I could add the elementary education piece of it, right? And so we have things that we work on at our school, and one of those things is to be a bucket filler.
Yeah. Yes. I remember that concept.
So we have there's a book. And
the bucket filling book. I had to read it in elementary school too.
So parents, if you're looking for something that you can do with your kids, it's a great book to read. Are you a bucket filler? And it kind of goes through just how we can fill the bucket. So teachers have a responsibility to fill that bucket to deposit kindness, goodness, determination, all those things, the kind of character education of the education system right now is to be a bucket filler. And then we also really encourage our kids to show school pride by being bucket fillers. It's one of those things. So just in our aspect at the elementary level, we are constantly looking at kids and rewarding kids. And so when we have a kind of a PBIS system, a positive behavior intervention system that we use. And if we see those kids being bucket fillers, if we see kids showing kindness and doing those things,
doing the right things.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that on a recent episode. Yeah. So you're even doing that in schools.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes. Huge aspect of our school. And we talked about, creating that safe space is the kids got to be able to do things too, and we got to set them up for those kind of character traits that we want them to have. And so we have all this terminology, school pride pieces and things like that, a whole behavior intervention system that we use. But the biggest thing is to recognize those kids when they do it, and to show them off at weekly assemblies, talking about what they do in the hallways or at recess and how they're kind,
Yeah.
and just recognize those bucket fillers in our building as an important thing of what we should be doing, not just in schools but in our life. So
yeah.
really trying to
Yeah.
push them to do that at home, encouraging parents to also have that same technique or strategy at home when you're encouraging the kids.
Yeah. As you were speaking, and I was just reminded of, things that like you hear a lot, and just like maybe the more specifics on a spiritual standpoint, or from a spiritual standpoint, is like, what are you depositing? Well, we're depositing the fruits of the Spirit.
Yeah.
We're depositing the fruit of our relationship with the Lord into children, and obviously in public school that's not, I mean,
We're not
teacher
naming that.
not yeah. But if you were a Christian parent, like that, those are the things too to be depositing. And I mean, to name them, it's in Galatians 5 verse 22. It says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control, and against such things there is no law. And so when we're, as a parent, you are depositing things into your child. Are you depositing the things of the flesh, or are you depositing the things of the Spirit?
Right.
And honestly, the way you'll be able to tell is based on what your child begins to deposit into others. Are they depositing, things of the flesh, like anger outbursts, and not sharing with other kids and things like that, or are they depositing like love and patience and all those? So yeah,
that's good. How do you see that, Jamie, with being a Christian and like knowing what the fruits of the Spirit are, and like knowing that you're in a public school and you're not naming Jesus, but you're like, so how do you navigate that? Because I know that you feel this is a calling for you. Like you felt like that for a long time and went to school to become an educator specifically because you felt like God was leading you in that direction, after doing some volunteer based work in schools, or mentoring program work. Like how does that show up for you in your life as an educator?
Sure. You got to be creative.
yeah,
So you have to figure out ways to pull scripture and pull out the concepts like the fruits of the Spirit
yeah,
without connecting that to
saying these are the fruits of the Spirit.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's like a secret mission
Yeah,
that you have.
Yeah.
You're on a ministry, and you want to help kids, and you want to teach them all those fruits of the spirits and all the things that are biblical, things that are important. But you can't come out and say those. So one of the things that I felt like was really important for me to do as a leader, once I got into those leadership roles, was to really, really be a person who modeled those.
Yeah,
The actions speak louder than words kind of thing. So I had to be a person that my staff saw me being patient with a kid that everybody's kind of just pulling their hair out, right? Being gentle to a kid that maybe hasn't experienced that before. Showing love to the kids that no one else is showing love to. You just kind of look for those opportunities, and you have to like show that, and then you get that. One of the things I think it's always been great in education is when people look at you and go, something's different.
yeah,
Like what you do is different, and what they don't know is that I'm doing it
yeah,
out of a ministry, not out of a paycheck.
Yeah.
And so when you start to like treat kids different, you treat staff different, you have to expose them to them fruits of the Spirit by your actions,
yeah.
more than me just being able to get up there in front
say,
and preach it.
Hey, this is
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think something that stands out to me, I don't want to like take it out of context because I can't remember what the context was exactly, but when it says against such things there is no law, I think like that's simply put, it's like you're not going to go wrong
Yeah.
doing these
Yeah.
things.
No.
Like, no one's going to be like, stop being so kind, or, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's like how God set it up too, is like,
Yeah.
these are all good things. These are all good things. There's
if
nobody's
you do
gonna,
them, there's gonna be no way that you can get it wrong. Yeah.
right.
It's like a foolproof plan kind of.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
for
Yeah, I've
sure.
never had a parent complain
That you were
that
too nice.
I was too nice or too loving or caring for their kid.
Yeah.
Will you stop being nice to my kid?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's so, like, I think we can take what you're saying there, even as parents, and apply that to our lives, our kids, because I mean, I don't know, you know, not every kid is open to talking really, I mean, especially when they get into like a little bit older elementary, they're not as open to talking about the things of God. You know, they may be feeling like they're being drugged to church with you. They may be feeling like, you know, I don't want to have to go to Sunday school or go to, you know, whatever. I just want to play football, or I just want to go hang out with my friends or whatever. And so start that like kind of opposing some of those things. But I think parents, I mean, that's one of the things that we can do as parents. And one of those powerful things you can do as parents is to model and
rather than just getting
fruits.
them to church,
Right. To
showing
actually
the character
show
of
that.
Jesus. Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, that's what Jesus did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're getting into the idea of shepherding and what it looks like to, there's this quote, I don't remember who it's from. I'm pretty sure it's in the book Living Like Fools Praying Like Monks or something. But it's basically this concept that you're so close to the person that you're following. And it's this phrase that you're covered in the dust of your rabbi. Like you're so close in following him that it's just natural that his dust would be on you, that his character would be on you.
Yeah.
And I mean, the most famous, scripture is Psalm 23, where it says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake." And so, I mean, even this concept of he leads me in paths of righteousness, but it's for his name's sake. It's not for the good of us. Yeah. It's not so that our lives would go correctly, or that kids would have the right behavior, or that they would do the right things, but it's so that his name would be glorified.
Yeah.
And so if we're looking at it from an eternal perspective, it's not just discipline. It's not just making sure they grow up to be okay, and in this age, making sure that they do the right things. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts with that, but this idea of shepherding, and what does it look like to shepherd in the way of Jesus, and not in our own strength and not in our own way. Because like you're saying, I mean, this is the age that there's pushback, that I don't want to go to church, that it's not just like, and there's, their own independence is coming through, and that they are their own individual person, and they don't want to just listen to what the parent says always.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I have a responsibility for a big group of kids every day, of making sure that when they walk into that school, it's a pasture. Yeah. That they have everything
that
they
you're
need.
leading them beside still waters.
Yeah.
And
then I think there's a big responsibility. It's like a tiered approach, right? And so there's moments in mornings and afternoons and lunch duties and recesses that I get to interact, and I get to shepherd them, and I get to show them the care and the connection and the love that I have for them, right? But the most important thing is who they spend time with the most, right? And so hiring those right people, making sure that when I bring them in, they know that our core values are around caring for kids, connecting with kids, and letting them know like everything else is secondary to that. Everything is secondary to the shepherding that we are doing for these kids every day, without using that term, word, right? So we've created that culture there, and have hired people who want to care for kids, who love kids and want to have a positive impact on them. We don't really look at resumes at experience of what they do. When they come in and we have meet and greets and interviews with them, a lot of our questions are just around what are you going to do to impact a kid, you know, in the school, in the environment? How are you going to shepherd them, and how are you going to take care of them? I feel like that school's lost sight of that.
The care.
For so many years, you know, a place like a school was a safe place. No one ever thought that anything was going to happen at a school. And then over the last 20 years, it's become a place where parents don't trust. Parents worry, right? And so we have to like create that environment where we are shepherding them, we are taking care of them. There is, you know, you think about the shepherd and you build gates around it, and you're constantly watching it because you want to keep things out. We do the same thing at school. We are trying to making sure that not only just bad people don't come to school, but the other things don't come in, other mindsets or anything like that that comes in, because those are the people that are going to be having 7 hours in front of a kid. And I need to make sure they are doing exactly what I would do. Again, leading by example and setting that up to be a place of care, safety, and love.
So I'm thinking about parents who might be listening who maybe haven't had the best experiences with schools, and they might be hearing you talk about the school and being like, where's this magical place? How can I send my kid there? You know? But how can parents, like if they are seeing that their kids maybe aren't being cared for, that they are not being shepherded appropriately? I mean, versus maybe they don't have the opportunity to pull them out of a school and put them in another school. Maybe they're kind of have to be wherever they are. Like, how can they, like, how would you recommend as a school leader they approach that issue?
Sure. I mean, when I first started at the school that I'm at now, parents didn't feel welcomed. It was almost like we we opened up the huge wall and let the kids come in every day and wouldn't let anybody in. It was not an opening, welcoming place. And so we had to do that. We had to start to create some committees and build relationships. One of the best things that I do, I feel like that really took a turn for our culture, was I started doing dismissal every day. And so me walking to every car around and introducing myself and meeting parents and checking on them and telling them about, you know, their kid did this today. No, not bad stuff, right? Just building that relationship really got us to a point. But what I think we all had to do at the school that I was at is when we had those parents that were not trusting us because of past experiences, or just you just assume that the people at this school don't care about your kid. We had to have those meetings. We had to use parent-teacher conferences to sit down and say, we love your kid and we want nothing but the best for your kids. And as a leadership, I have a leadership team, we had to do that same thing. And so whether it was behavior issues, attendance issues, suspension conversations, any of those things, we wanted it to come from a caring place. So for a parent who is not feeling like the school is caring for them, for a parent who maybe feels like their school is not the most safe or best place for their kid, I feel like parents have taken a back seat of advocacy for their kids. That's your kid. That's their education, and you might be placed in a school because of the neighborhood you live, but you have that ability to walk in, meet with those principals and those staff members and those teachers, and advocate for your kid to experience that love and care that we're trying to do at my school. And I think we can't just sit back and send our kid every day and go there and keep our fingers crossed that everything's going to be all right. Get involved. Get involved in your school. Volunteer in those schools. Go and ask for a meeting with the principal. Sit down and voice those concerns. So many times I felt like there was parents who had something and eventually it would blow up. And when I would sit them down and we would talk, I would realize it all was back here as something that was really minor.
Yeah.
And eventually blew up, and it never got resolved.
Yeah.
And they had this feeling of what we were doing at our school that wasn't in line with what we were doing.
Yeah.
And so I would for a parent who is having maybe a tough time with the school that their kid's going to, set up a meeting.
Yeah.
Really sit down and say, these are the things that the school is supposed to provide: a safe environment for my kid, a place where my kids should feel welcomed and loved. And if you're not, then you have to advocate for that, because I feel like there's a lot of parents that just kind of sit back and don't speak up. And then when they do speak up, it's like really big and it's really emotional.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just connected to that small thing. So don't wait. It's like literally set up that time, and go and speak to that teacher, because what our hope is that everybody in education, every person that's in a classroom, is doing it for the kids.
Yeah.
We hope that everybody is doing it for the kids. And so if you get in there, I think you can meet with somebody and talk with somebody and eventually come to a partnership. That's what needs to be done. More of a partnership instead of us and them.
Yeah.
When
Us
it comes to
versus
parents and
them
teachers.
even.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point. I feel like you guys did a great job of that too. I mean, maybe not so much with me, but definitely with Brayden, and just being like an advocate for him and making sure that his best interests were at heart. Mostly because I just kind of didn't really.
You made friends with all your teachers?
I just made friends with all my teachers and sat in the teachers' lounge during lunch. So I didn't really have that many.
That's true.
I didn't have a need for
yeah.
advocacy, maybe, but
That's like such a good story for your elementary age. I have to say, very quickly. I know we're going to wrap up in just a moment, but I just have to say that there was a period of time whenever Presley came home from elementary school and let us know that she had been doing recess duty, which was not a kid job, was a teacher job. And then around that same time, she came in one day and told us so-and-so from school was retiring. And we're like, oh, really? And then we found out that she learned this while she was in the teacher's lounge at lunchtime having lunch with the other teachers. Yeah, with the other teachers. And she also was, I remember being stopped in like 4th grade, and somebody thot she was a substitute teacher.
That did happen many times, which was really frustrating to me, because I looked older. I didn't look like a substitute teacher. Come on. Anyways,
well, and I would say every school has a Presley.
For sure.
When I remember her coming home, I'd look at Valerie and I'd be like, teachers should not be doing that. And now I'm a principal of those teachers, and we have kids that
still do that,
come in and run copies, and go, make a cup of coffee for teachers, and are doing recess duty. And so
you were also safety patrol captain.
Yes.
Yeah, safety patrol. We have those kids too. But those are great things. Those are great leadership opportunities. We try to turn it into a positive thing where, student council, safety patrol. Those are things that are really important for kids to have those opportunities. And you had those opportunities.
Yeah.
So, I feel like that was. Thank you for speaking on that.
Thank you for having me.
Bringing in the school
I'm the first
perspective.
guest, right?
You're
the first guest.
First guest
Of the podcast.
Yeah, first guest of the podcast. This is why we have an
exciting.
interesting setup over here.
I know,
for
the interesting
our viewers.
Just, I mean,
holding the microphone.
I don't know how this is going to
sound. Arm.
I don't know how this is going to sound. It could sound like great. Me like waving the mic around the whole time when I'm talking.
Potentially.
So if that did happen, I apologize.
Yeah. We're going to try better. We're going to invest in a third
I feel like I tried
arm.
to keep it pretty steady.
But I was just like, man, we're going to talk about elementary school kids. Like, what better person
than someone who works with elementary school kids every day?
The dad himself.
Yeah. I wasn't able to find the green room before
Oh my gosh, we're not that bougie here. You can go down to the kitchen.
All green M&Ms.
You can go down to the kitchen.
Get the pantry. Get something out of the pantry.
We have prunes in there right now. You can have some
Can I
prunes.
just give you my hotel check for reimbursement?
Yeah, we're not doing any per diem here.
No per diem. Okay, all right.
Nothing like that.
No VIP.
Nice try.
You are the
Yeah.
VIP, but no VIP treatment.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thanks for
letting me
being
talk
here.
about
Yeah.
my kids.
So we'll have
I
you
love
again
'em.
soon.
We will. All right.
Every week. No, I'm just kidding. You're roped in for
So-
life.
I have to get with my administrative assistant to schedule me out.
Oh,
man.
I'm booked for
Lord.
the next 8 to 10 months. I
Oh
think.
my goodness.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching. We will be back next week talking about
Yeah, or
Um,
listening.
or listening.
Yeah,
sorry,
sorry.
watching and listening / listening, or both or neither. Wait,
They
that
wouldn't
doesn't
know.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.